Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So in this video guys, we're gonna talk about Mr. RayJ finally going after Kim Kardashian and Kris Jenner. RayJ is not taking this anymore. RayJ is revealing how the planation of their sex tape all went down and how Kim insisted that her mom was in control of the exploitation of their tape. Now, Kim and Kris' attorney is saying that RayJ is just doing this because he's losing the case and because, he realizes that he's using the case. He's trying to come with his rambling and his distractions and will lose this frivolous case too. But this is the thing. Because RayJ's story has been the only story that has been consistent over the past few decades. RayJ's story, because we've been hearing RayJ's version of the story before RayJ told the story. So RayJ has been the only one who is consistent. And remember that before any lawsuits came into play, Bethany Frankel told us that the story was long being told in Hollywood that Kris got Kim a glam squad to shoot a sex tape. And after she got the glam squad, did the tape, and they compared the two tapes, they realized that the raw version was much better than the orchestrated version. So I understand that their attorney is doing his job by saying the lawsuit is frivolous, but not because he says it doesn't mean that it's true. That is his job to convince them that it's frivolous when it's not. But guys, when I tell you that, I'm so happy RayJ is fighting back because this is what Candace Owens and everyone has been telling RayJ for the longest time. Fight back against Kim and Kris because you know what I don't like about their behavior? They knew. They all did something. And we even saw a clip from, I think he has some connection to the company that initially released the tape, right? So I forgot what that gentleman's name is and the company that he's from, but I saw a podcast interview where he said Kim and Kris tried to release the tape without RayJ's consent because they didn't want to give RayJ any of the money or any creative control over, the contract. And he told them it would be illegal if he did that. He needs to get RayJ's signature on board. So it can't be that so many people are lying. RayJ, I'm sorry that RayJ didn't get someone like Joe Tacopina, but then when you think about Kim and Kris circle, Joe Tacopina may not represent RayJ because it may cause some kind of conflict because Joe Tacopina also represents Jay-Z and Beyonce and Kim and Kris, Jay-Z, Beyonce, they're all in bed together, right? But I would hope that RayJ could get 2 more attorneys on this case to assist him with this because RayJ needs a backside win. RayJ needs a backside win and need to get these vultures, Kim and Kris, off his back. Listen, on a personal level, I have absolutely nothing against Kim or Kris. As a matter of fact, I like how they have built their brand, minus the manipulation portion of it. And I like how Kim has come a long way and she's pushing, to get her bar so that she can become a lawyer. And there are other things about her that I do like. So me saying this is not anything personal. It's more coming from a humanitarian side. I believe that not because you have the power and the strength and the finances to consistently attack someone and lie on them, have you ever heard the saying, the permit to bury someone? Not because you have the permit to bury someone, it doesn't mean that you have the license to kill them, right? So the only thing that your permit allows you to do is to bury who is already dead. But if the person is not dead, your permit to bury doesn't give you the opportunity or the license to kill. So that is Kim and Kris. They need to realize that not because RayJ signed an agreement with them to release the tape, it doesn't mean that he had signed an agreement for them to assassinate his character in the process by lying that he released the tape when they were all in on it. That is really abusive and highly manipulative and very malicious of them to do. And he has every right to take every action against them. And I pray, guys, let's stand together in prayer on RayJ's behalf, because Kim and Kris, they're not being fair, and they need to be fair. Kris is a mom. She's a mom. She should know better. If someone was doing that to Kris' child, she would have been pissed. RayJ has his mother to guide him in all of this if she decides to get involved. So I think RayJ is going to be fine, because RayJ's mom doesn't play around like that. But let's get into this report so you guys will have some more context, okay? Now they're saying RayJ is firing back at Kim Kardashian and Kris Jenner with a lawsuit of his own after they sued him for defamation. He says they were all in on the infamous sex tape and it wasn't leaked against Kim's will. In new legal docs obtained by TMZ, RayJ reveals what he says actually went down with the sex tape. What else is the guy supposed to do, right? He claims he and Kim consensually shot a sex tape in 2003. And then in 2006, they discussed releasing it. And he says Kim insisted Kris be in charge of the release and the commercial exploitation of the film. So everything, and he showed us some discussions when he went live a couple years ago and showed us the signatures and everything, right? So why would they be doing this to him? They lied on him and now they're suing him. That is so unethical. Like, RayJ may just be the Kardashians' karma. Like RayJ got them through the door and maybe God is putting all of this in motion. So RayJ is the one who takes them out the door. Do you see, just as how Trump is from a migrant family, but he's the one that is fighting against migrants in America. And because he's fighting against migrants in America, the migrant energy is leaving the country and the country is slowly crumbling because America was built on the backs of migrants. And once the energy leaves, everything is going to crumble. So maybe, you see, sometimes you will experience people coming after you, but it's because sometimes God wants to get rid of those people. Sometimes you're just like the tool for that people to, be pushed to in that corner that they deserve to be. And maybe this is what is happening to Kris and Kim. RayJ got them through the door and God is using RayJ again to get their asses back out the door, which would be well deserving of them, because this is a low down dirty dog move that they're doing to this guy. I believe RayJ, we see RayJ showing evidence. We see RayJ showing proof. Are you saying that RayJ has fabricated all of that as well? Like, come on. Give the guy a break. You agreed on the tape, you released the tape, and you lied on him for decades. Decades. And you're suing him on top of it, and now he's suing back in his defense. Oh my God, those lawsuits is frivolous because he knows he's losing. So says who? Says who? How do you know he's losing? Are you saying that RayJ is not entitled to he's not entitled to the same amount of justice as Kim and Kim? Is that what you're saying? Is it that you're saying that, oh, you have been pulling some strings behind the scene, so you know he's losing? Like, how do you know he's losing? Like, how? How do you know for sure, Is it that RayJ is not entitled to the same amount of equal rights? Like, come on. Come on. When just Judge Mattis said it doesn't make sense, Kim and Kris lawsuit against RayJ doesn't make sense, and he has been right about everything that he said about every lawsuit whenever he's asked his opinion. I've never seen him to be wrong, not even once. And I trust his judgment with this lawsuit as well, because anyone who is well thinking would say, but why would you want to sue someone? He spoke the truth, You're suing him for defamation. You're suing him for this. Like, you're supposed to talk about, oh my God, and when I saw that tape releasing, I knew I had to do something. And then you fake that lie detector test again. I just don't respect people who behave in that manner. Like, I don't respect them. It's nothing personal, but I don't respect people who have double standards, knowing they have kids, and you're doing this, telling lie on the guy, knowing that it did happen. It happened. It happened. He showed us the evidence. He showed us the proof, and we saw that video from that producer guy or manager from the company that you guys allegedly went through to release the tape, and he said that you guys, he said it, the interview is right here on YouTube, or unless you have paid to delete it, but it's right here on YouTube. The guy said that Kim and Kris wanted to reveal a tape without RayJ's signature, and he had to advise them that it was illegal to do so, right? So how the heck you're making it seem as though this guy is just out here doing the most, as though he's crazy. Shame on you, Kim. Shame on you, Kris. Y'all have kids. You don't do this to people's kids. Why? Blood run through your kid's vein, but not RayJ's? Like, shame on y'all. You see, RayJ is gonna be y'all's downfall. You mark my word. RayJ is gonna be y'all's downfall. He was your uprising, and he's gonna be your downfall. Mark my word. No, let's continue. They're saying in the lawsuit filed by attorney Howard King, RayJ claims Kim and Kris have spent 2 decades peddling the false story that the sex tape was leaked against her will. Ray says Kim and Kris are furious. He no longer wants to play along with their tall tale. And we said that too. We could read between the lines and see it. He didn't have to tell us that. We saw that. Now they're saying Kim's and Kris' attorney, Alex Fury, tells TMZ, after realizing he's losing the case and losing his way, this disjointed, rambling distraction is not intimidating anymore. RayJ will lose this frivolous case too. No, he won't. He's gonna be their downfall. And you see, if RayJ loses this case, it's gonna be the worst thing that has ever happened to Kim and Kris. Mark my word. Because if we sit and watch RayJ lose this case, it means that something is wrong behind the scenes, and Kim and Kris will never be in the favor of the public again. Not even in their circle. People are going to realize just how truly these two women are, and they're going to start cutting ties with them. RayJ is going to be Kim and Kris' downfall. You mark my words. He got them through the door, and he's going to get them out the door. Mark my words. Now, they're saying, in the docs, Ray says on the Kardashians, Kris and Ye falsely accused him of sexually assaulting Kim while she was asleep, releasing revenge porn and extortion. Ray says he initiated legal proceedings, and Kim, Kris, and their production company entered a settlement with him where Kim agreed to pay him $6 million. And he's still at yells telling him that, he's gonna lose a case. He needs to sue Kanye West next. He needs to sue Kanye West next. He needs to sue Kanye West next, because Kanye West was desperate enough to win back Kim. Kim knew it, and she exploited Kanye's desperation and illness to do that segment of the Kardashians. RayJ needs to sue Kanye West next. Principle is principle. Maybe RayJ, but then again, Kanye West is more of a human being, so let me not be so hard on him, because Kanye West has met with RayJ after, and he might have settled this with RayJ. He'll give RayJ some money and say, you know what? When I did that, I was wrong. He's that kind of person. He's more in tune to his humanity. Kim and Kris, disgusting. They sick stomach on this matter. It's nauseating. Like I'm so upset. How do you do this to someone's child, knowing that you have kids, grandkids? Shame on you, Kim. Shame on you, Kris. RayJ got y'all asses through the door, and he's gonna be that piece of tool that God is using to get y'all asses out the door. You're leaving the same way you come. Mark my word. Now they're saying Ray says the agreement also featured a requirement barring further mention or public reference to the sex tape on the Kardashians. But he says almost immediately after the agreement was executed, Kim, Kris, Ye, and Kendall Jenner all made statements in violation of the agreement. I tell you. And I believe every word he's saying. I believe everything he's saying. Now they're saying in the docs, Ray says he is entitled to $1 million in damages under the agreement. Okay. Kim and Kris sued RayJ for defamation last month, and here he says their lawsuit is not really about defamation. He says it's about publicity, power, and punishment. Ray says they filed a baseless lawsuit to weaponize the judicial system, shirks their contractual obligation, and sacrifice on the altar of fame. That's exactly what they're doing. Everything that he says they're doing, that's exactly what they're doing, exactly how he says they're doing it. Now, they're saying Ray also explains his Kardashian RICO comment, which led to their defamation lawsuit. In the docs, he says he saw parallels between RICO and Kim and Kris conspiracy with Vivid. It was Vivid to release and lie about the sex tape, as well as Kim and Kris conspiracy to trick him into signing the agreement before broadcasting further content about the sex tape. No. The only thing I'll blame RayJ for, honestly, in all of this, in saying that he's working with the feds on a RICO case against them, I'm going to have to blame him for that. I think he was out of line with that. And whatever comes with him saying that, I believe that he should be held accountable. Fair is fair. I'm being their judge, jury, and executioner. Everyone is getting their fair share. Everyone. No stones will be unturned on this one. Now they're saying in the docs, Ray says he considered bringing his own lawsuit against Kim and Kris under civil RICO statute and wondered whether they might be prosecuted for RICO violations. He says that why his interview in TMZ Tubi doc, United States versus Sean Combs, featured an aside about the Kardashians and RICO in which he said, if you told me the Kardashians was being charged for racketeering, I might believe it. That statement, you cannot crucify him for it because he's not saying that they were. He said that if you told me, I would believe it. And he's saying that he would believe it because they basically try to, kind of like do the same thing to him. They try to swindle him out of a business deal, which involved money. So yes, it would be like kind of fair of him to say that, So that is not so much of a punch. Now they're saying Ray adds he thought his microphone was off during a September 2025 live stream where he said the feds is coming to investigate because I can't be the dirty guy no more. Now, that's the end of it. It seems as though TMZ is also on RayJ's side. I was, reading their tone in between, or the person who wrote it. RayJ's comments that he made, basically saying that, I think he said something along the lines of they're worse than Diddy, that he's saying that he didn't mean for it to get out. It got out, and that's just the truth. He just has to own up to it. But Kim and Kris, they're grimy. They're very dirty for what they're doing to RayJ, and it's just wrong. It's wrong. And they need to be held accountable because they lied on this guy for 2 decades and they need to be held accountable. But as I've said, RayJ was the energy that got them through the door, and he's going to be the energy to get them out the door. You just mark my word on this one. But anywho, guys, I want to know if you guys agree with me on this. So leave your comment below. Do all you need to do on this video to support your girl. Peace.